Hi, this is Mr. Shakespeare again, and I'm with psychic medium Liz Cross. Hi, Liz. How are you doing today?
Hello, Mr. Shakespeare. Sunday morning. Good morning.
Good morning, afternoon, my time. Today we're going to look at Martin Armstrong. Martin Armstrong is a unique personality, I think. He has a computer called Socrates, which is probably one of the first AI devices on the planet. And he's an economics expert, and he's also a political economist as well. He has good connections around the world, and pretty much most people have heard of him. He's advised governments, departments, countries, royalty, all sorts of things in the past. So, without further ado, have you got a connection with him?
I've probed him a few times before.
Okay. Okay. You have got a connection with him, or you don't? You do,
I do. Yeah, I have a connection with him. Yes. He's quite a funny guy. He's very peculiar. I think that's the best way to describe him. He's very idiosyncratic. Has lots of pet peeves, and he's just a very different type of person.
Right. Yeah. Well, he started off life trading and things like that, so he understands trading at a very high level, all sorts of things. Okay, we need to move him forward to January the 7th, 2023.
Okay. And just for future reference, Mr. Shakespeare, if you wanted me to probe his Socrates computer, I can do. Okay. It has a consciousness. So do you need me to probe anything about the computer right now?
Well, we either need to do him first or Socrates. Well, we need to do both, really. So okay. Which one do you want to do first?
Well, we can do him. I'll move him. You go into the usual date?
Afraid so.
Okay. Okay. Let's go January 7th. January 7th. I feel like he's a bit of a drinker, I feel like he's got a bit of a hangover today. But anyway, January 7th, 2023. Ooh, he wanted to go 24. I'm saying no, we're going to 23. 2023, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What would you like to know?
How's the economy doing in America, Martin?
How's the economy doing in America? It's gone down the pan, his exact words.
Okay. What does he think the causes of this? What are the causes?
That's a good question. What do you think the cause is of it going downhill? An economic crisis is his response.
Caused by what?
Caused by what? Fuel.
Fuel as in oil and energy?
As in oil and energy? Yes.
Have oil and energy costs gone through the roof compared to other commodities?
Oil and energy costs gone through the roof compared to other commodities? No, but there's a scarcity. There's a scarcity, but the prices haven't raised. No, they're being heavily manipulated. The prices in order to control the chaos, but it's like everything is on the brink of erupting. Again, I keep getting this eruption. That's the second or third time now I get this eruption. Everything's just on the brink of just going up in smoke.
Okay. How's gold doing?
It's flat.
Okay. Has it been flat for most of the rest of 2022?
Was it flat for the most of the rest of 22? Yes, mostly flat.
Okay. What was the outcome of the midterm elections? What happened in the Congress?
Oh, what happened in the Congress with the midterm elections? Was it Democrats' favor, Republican favor?
Okay. Did the Democrats lose quite a few seats?
Did the Democrats lose feel like they lost a lot, but they lost enough to swing things in the favor of the Republicans.
Okay. What happened in the Senate? Who controls the Senate now? Republicans or
Republicans or the Democrats? I feel like Democrats are still controlling the Senate.
right? Okay.
It's almost even though. I don't feel that there's a huge majority there.
Okay. What did he think of the outcome of the midterm elections? What did he think?
Think about the outcome of the midterm elections? He's not happy with it.
Right. Anything specific he's not happy about?
Well, he doesn't trust politicians anyway.
No.
He thinks they're, his exact words, they're all full of hot air. He's like, they're all just liars and thieves, and he doesn't like politicians. Has he said that before?
Yeah.
Okay. He doesn't trust them.
How did his World Economic Conference go in November? Was it a success?
How did your World Economic Conference go in November? Was it a success? So. It was hit and miss. I feel like they had a conference to see what could be done to improve the economy, also where they could put their money for the time being, safe places to store money and to make money and to make that money work for them. And it was hit and miss. Right now they're saying there is no safe place to store money. How about in lithium? Is that a good place to see? He doesn't like electric vehicles. Okay, so personally, this is his own personal thought, feeling, and opinion. Because he dislikes electric vehicles, he's saying, no, I wouldn't personally. But let me ask him this question. When we are talking about lithium, cobalt, things that make electric vehicles, overall, are those good investments? And overall, it is a place to have your money at the moment.
What does he think about Bitcoin currently?
Bitcoin in January 2023. It's finished.
What does he think about the rest of the crypto market?
What do you think about the rest of the crypto market? The whole world. He's telling me the whole world. So he's saying cryptos are no longer a safe place to store money. Okay. And the whole world has come to that realization.
Okay. Does he think that how's the dollar index doing, by the way? How's the US dollar index doing?
It's flat.
Has it been much higher than it was in July 2022?
Has it been much higher than it was in July 2022? No, it's overall about the same. Is it still about $1.20 to the pound? It's about still roughly $1.20 to the pound. Is the euro?
About the dollar euro rate.
Yeah, let's ask. Is the euro above or below $1 right now? I feel like the euro is below $1.
Yeah. Okay.
What about the ruble? Because I know people are like, don't forget about the ruble and all these other things. See, they want to buy all these other currencies, and with the anticipation that it will spike at some point and they can make money that way. But I think that's very risky. That's my personal opinion. What about ruble is completely tanked?
Really? Why? What happened to it? Why did it tank?
Why is it tanked? Because no one is accepting it.
Okay, is this due to more political sanctions by the US?
Is this due to more political sanctions by the US? No, the same sanctions are still in place, but it's becoming it's increasingly difficult to do business with Russia with their currency. So I feel like, again, it looks like what he's telling me, and I don't really understand this, but what he's telling me is they're doing business in the US dollar.
Okay. Okay. What about the Japanese yen, dollar yen rate?
What about the Japanese dollar yen rate? I feel like that's down as well.
Okay.
Is it the dollar that's down? Both. He's saying both. So again, that rate is down. How is the economy in Japan? It's flat. So Japan is actually suffering as well.
What about the European Union? How are they doing?
What about the European Union? How are they doing? No, that's bad. The economy has really slowed down. It's grinding to a halt.
What about the United Kingdom? How are they doing?
What about the UK? How are they doing? They're trying to do their own thing separate to Europe, is what he's telling me, which is, you don't need to be psychic to know that, right? But it seems that the UK is starting to do slightly, ever so slightly better than a lot of, he's saying, than the accumulative of Europe.
Okay. How does he think the new British Prime Minister is doing?
How do you think the new British Prime Minister? They don't like the new Prime Minister. I feel, who is the new Prime Minister? Is it Rishi? Is Rishi the new British Prime Minister? No, I feel like it's her. I feel like it's female.
Liz Truss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is she overall very positive at the moment?
Well, it's down to two now. It's either Truss or Rishi Sunak. So it can only be either of these two, I believe. And
okay.
they don't decide. The decision's not till the 5th of September. So, there's 5 or 6 weeks before the decision is made. But
okay, tell me this, Mr. Shakespeare, just to educate our non-UK followers. When that vote goes ahead, is it going to be a parliamentarian vote, or is it going to be a vote with the public?
The public don't have, they can have a say, but they don't have any influence. It's the Conservative Party members that basically decide. And nobody's actually sure how many members of the Conservative Party, but I would be surprised if it's over 250,000. I think it's somewhere between 150 and 250,000 people. So I think they are balloted, I believe, on how the next Prime Minister is chosen. When it gets to two, the MPs are voting at the moment, though I think they started with about 13 or 12 or whatever, and then it gets whittled down, and then it gets down to 2. And I think it's the party members who decide who's going to be the Prime Minister. So the Prime Minister in the UK is not directly voted for by the electorate. So a party is voted, and then the party, if it's the Conservative Party, choose their leader, and their leader is then the Prime Minister. So if it's Liz Truss, by then, if he's saying it's Liz Truss, and that's the second one that we've had that's mentioned Truss, so maybe she's the new Prime Minister. Has there been any more talk, because Liz Truss originally voted against Brexit, so has there been any more talk about Brexit or anything going back into the EU? Does he know about it?
That's a good question. Is there any talk about UK going back into the EU? No, they want to stay well away from it. So I feel like the current status is we're staying away from the EU completely. They're on their own, right? Yeah. What I'm getting, the information that's coming in is we can't bankroll the EU, right? We
no.
Try to bankroll the EU. So let me ask him this. Is Biden still in power? Yes. Okay. So that is a popular prediction that is put out on a continual basis, that Biden will not be in power after this year and that Kamala Harris will take over. I don't see that. Again, we're getting that Biden is still in power.
Okay. Has his health deteriorated?
His mental status has, yes. And I feel like, he has COVID at the moment. And, COVID can take a toll on the brain, big time. And anybody who's had COVID, a severe case of it, myself included, knows how it attacks Like it puts you in a brain fog. I don't know what all it does, but you could feel it. I could definitely feel it attacking my third eye and my brain. And so this is not going to go well for decision making, right? Because his mental status is already, shaky at the best of times, and it doesn't look as if it's going to go very well for him, with regards to his mental health. So what Armstrong is reporting back is he's struggling.
Is there any talk about the House impeaching Biden?
Is there any talk about the House impeaching Biden? No. What we should ask is what's going on with Hunter Biden? Has he been charged? No. Hunter Biden has not been charged with any criminal offense.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. How does he see it? How's the real estate market doing globally? Because he has his fingers everywhere. So is real estate taking over as a safe haven for wealth?
Is real estate taking over as a safe haven for wealth? Absolutely. So there you go. That's consistent with my readings, actually. That is very consistent. The readings that I give, a lot of times people want to know where they're supposed to put their money now. And the answer that comes back from spirit very frequently is property, because property is a safe haven. Did we see a massive property crash in the US in the tail end or the rest of 2022? No, it's actually starting to increase again. So has seen a decline. Okay, you have to remember, okay, borrowing seen a decline. They're not loaning out as many mortgages as they were. There's lots of people with a lot of cash here. So I keep getting that across the board, that people are snapping up the housing, massive development funds, things like that. They're going to snap up all the housing. So it looks like the real estate market is back up. And he's actually saying that in 2023 in January, that you'll see borrowing creep back up again as well.
Okay. How's the UK real estate market doing?
How's the UK real estate market doing? He doesn't actually know the answer to that.
Okay. What's the situation with food prices?
With food prices, are they stable? No, they're still continuing to rise.
Okay. How's the oil price doing?
How's the oil price doing at the moment? I feel like that's flat. So it stays relatively flat. It's being very manipulated and controlled. But again, everybody's holding on. Now, here we go. Here's another consistency in our videos, right? So everybody's holding on to their reserves. They're not willing to part with it.
Are there any in his I think no, actually we now need to, we can drop him and let's talk to Socrates.
Okay. All right. I'm going to pull him down and I'm going to talk to his Socrates, which, can you tell us a little bit about Socrates for those that do not know?
Sure. So Socrates is a program that Martin developed a long time ago. And it's a sort of self-learning program. But one of the things that Armstrong did was that he fed it with unbelievable amounts of data. And I don't mean just data going back, 50 or 60 years, hundreds of years of data. Because one of the things that Martin discovered is the cyclic pattern of just about everything. So, he's got gold going back to Roman times, all sorts of data. And then what the computer has done is it's worked out the cycles and patterns of everything over time. And it gets to the point now where the computer writes its own reports, writes its own everything. So when you hear Armstrong, you know, on his blog or anything referred to Socrates, these are not his opinions. This is basically the computer's opinion. The computer has a lot of knowledge of just inbuilt data and is able to churn out. And it's a bit clunky the way it does it, but it can tell certain things. So one of the things that it is churning out is that 2023 is part of the war cycle. So we need Socrates to go perhaps till the end of 2023.
Okay. December 31st.
Yeah.
2023. At least we know he's not going out on New Year's Eve, right? Unless he's having a computer party. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Hello.
Yes. What would you like to know?
How did Socrates' war year turn out? Did that happen? And if so, where?
How did Socrates' war year turn out? Did that happen? No, that's. I feel like that's an off prediction. What exactly is Socrates predicting? What is a war cycle or a war?
Well, basically that there was going to be war somewhere through in 2023. There's other predictions as well that hold to 23 and 24 being. I'm looking into this at the moment. It was actually referenced in a. Have you heard of the group called the Birds? The Birds?
Yes, the Birds. Yeah, spelled BYRDS.
Yeah. So they had a song out in the 60s called Turn, Turn, Turn.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if you look at the lyrics in that, it's very interesting because they were referencing certain things, and a time to live, a time to die, a time for peace, a time for war. Yeah. And it appears that we're in a war cycle at the moment for another 2.5 years. So when Socrates came up with this sort of thing in its war cycle, for me, there's a bit of correlation there. I'm still looking into that. I'm not ready to do a video on that yet. I'll be another week or so. But Socrates makes very many predictions. What was the level of accuracy for the rest of 2022 and into 2023?
What was the level of accuracy for the rest of 2022? I feel like 2022 is fairly accurate. At what rate would you say? 80%, maybe 60, 65% accuracy. What about 2023? What would you give me back as a percentage is the level of accuracy? I feel like 2023 is hit and miss. So I feel like it's a 50% accuracy on the 2023 prediction.
Right. Okay. How's the global finances? How are they doing at the end of 2023?
How are the global finances doing at the end of 2023? So the computer doesn't actually understand the feeling associated with finances.
Okay.
How's the economy doing? Is it down from July 2022? It's still flat. Right. So I don't feel like it's up or down. I feel like it's just flat. We're just going to see a really flat year for 2023.
Okay. Right. Okay. Does the computer have any knowledge? I mean, on one of its metrics is Bitcoin that it does track. Is it still tracking Bitcoin?
Is it still tracking Bitcoin? No.
When did it stop tracking Bitcoin?
When did it stop tracking Bitcoin? In 2023. What months? January, February, March, April, May, June. When did you stop tracking Bitcoin? I feel like in the fall.
Of 2023 or 2022?
2022. No, 23.
Okay. Right. Okay. Is the dollar, the US dollar, still the king of the hill as far as currencies?
The king of the hill. Is the US dollar still king of the hill? It's powerful. Again, the computer is not thinking in terms of, feelings or thoughts but
Yeah.
it's powerful. I feel like the US dollar, is it basically running the world? Relatively so, yes. So it looks like power. Now, let me just go into that a bit. You have heard me say, everybody's like, no, Liz, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. We're going to a digital currency. You don't understand. And we appreciate you, but you got it wrong. Okay. Now, I don't see us going into a digital currency in 2022 or 2023. And consistent findings in these predictions is that the dollar becomes stronger, just like as you have asked. So that's interesting to me, because a lot of people are like, oh, XRP is going to be the main digital currency throughout the world by the end of 2022, right? No chance.
No. No, I now an interesting question. No, he can't really ask Socrates that. Okay, can we actually let's drop Socrates, please?
Okay, bye. Wave to me.
Can we just ask? Have you got Martin still hanging around? Can we just pop him back up a minute?
Yeah.
Let's get him into January the 7th, 2024.
See, he likes that, because the reason he wanted to go to 24 is because the 24 is when we start to see a turnaround in the market. So let's go January 7th, 2024. Oh, he says 25. I'm going to go 25. 2025, okay. 8 p.m. The reason he wants to go to 25. All right. I feel like it's the economy starting to make a turnaround.
Turn. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, you see, if the time for peace is from 2025, my research is showing me at the moment. So pretty much everything should be done and over with by the end of 2024. Ask him this: is the Federal Reserve note still in existence, or has the dollar changed back to its constitutional what can we call it, constitutional creation, if you like? Because the Federal Reserve note is not really a dollar. It's a Federal Reserve note. It's not a dollar as such. So I know we all call it dollars, but and we spend them like dollars and everything, but it's not. So is the Federal Reserve note still the same, or has the dollar gone back to its constitutional status, if you like?
Has the dollar gone back to constitutional status? No.
Okay, that means
I don't know what you mean by that.
All right, is the Fed? Ask him if the Fed is still around.
Is the Federal Reserve still around? Oh, yes.
There you go. What happened to the World Economic Forum?
What happened to the world?
And what they wanted to do, build back better and you'll own nothing and all that.
I feel like all those ideas are in the trash, he said. It's in the trash. That is not going to work. People are not going to fall for that.
Good. Does he think that now in 2025, this is the time that, there can be peace and we can all have, prosperity can start again?
Do you believe that in 2025, peace and prosperity can start again? Yes, but it's very slow.
Yeah.
He doesn't see it actually recovering, according to his computer predictions, till 2027, 2028. It's going to take a long, slow climb to get us out of this hole that we're in.
Right.
That's consistent with my readings as well.
Yeah. Was there any kind of jubilee, debt jubilee, writing off of debts, both public and private, that he's aware of?
Was there any type of debt jubilee that you're aware of? No. What about student loan debt? What about any of it off? No.
Okay. So is the world still awash in debt?
The world's still awash in debt, much more so than in 2022.
Wow. How's gas prices in the US doing?
How are petrol gas prices in the US doing? I feel around $7 a gallon.
Okay.
Now we're trying to swap over to this green energy here.
Okay. And what about oil? How's oil doing?
How's oil doing? It's staying relatively flat.
How's gold doing?
How's gold doing? It's increased a little.
How's Bitcoin? Is Bitcoin still around?
No.
Okay.
Not in its present form. No.
Right. Okay. How's the real estate market doing?
How's the real estate market doing? The real estate market is booming. So again, just to remind our listeners, we're looking out into 2025, and these are his own personal thoughts, feelings. As we're doing this mind probe, it's a future self reading. Yes, I do those. I do future self readings. I like to do them to give an overview. I don't like to go into in-depth information. Like if I sell Bitcoin at 5 o'clock on a Friday, will I make profit? And those are, timelines can change. But on the current timeline we're on right now, it looks that, we're booming. The property market. Is it booming with first-time buyers? Yes, it looks like the government's had to implement some sort of scheme in order for first-time buyers to get on the property ladder. Let me ask this question. Have they extended the mortgage years? No, because I saw that in the UK where there was talk of extending the mortgage lending to 50 years. Do you know about that?
Yeah, unbelievable. Crazy, isn't it?
50 years, being tied to a mortgage for 50 years is such a long time. I mean, that means you'll be paying your mortgage well into retirement. And if it's one thing you don't want to do, is you don't want to pay on a mortgage when you retire, right? And you certainly don't want to rent, because I know from just doing these mind probes, the big danger, the red flag that comes out, cities and places where there's no rent control, right, which is most of the world, when you go to retire, your income that's coming in is going to have to keep up with the rent trend, and that's very difficult to do. So just be mindful of that. But these 50-year mortgages, have they already started those in the UK?
I did see talk of it. I'm not 100% sure. It's not something I've been following, so because it's absolute insanity for anybody to do that. So
it is, but you see the prices are becoming so bad that people are not going to be able to get on the housing market. Now, I feel like here we have a scheme where it's called like a FHA loan, And what
Yeah.
he's saying to me is somehow they're allowing these first-time buyers to get on the property market, what he's telling me, with very, very little deposit using these FHA loans. Now, as we all remember, he's telling me we've done this before. And that's what caused this massive crash in the housing market. So they haven't learned. He's telling me they haven't learned their lesson on that.
Okay. How's inflation doing?
How's inflation doing? It's going back down.
Okay, that's good. Okay, that's all I have for him. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was a lot. I mean, I think we pulled a lot of great information out of Martin. So thank you for your line of questioning. And I'm glad you're on target with all these people. I know that you do follow a lot of different people and you find you're finding these consistencies. So again, everybody, I'll say it again, and I posted in the Discord, look for these consistencies. We've got a new interviewer and we're grateful to have you, Mr. Shakespeare, and you're doing things differently and you're finding consistencies across the board for the current timeline we're on. So we appreciate that very much. Again, if you want to interact with Mr. Shakespeare, you'll have to find him on the Discord. And the way you get on the Discord is through Patreon access. So you'll go to Patreon.com/remote viewing and beyond. And don't forget to like and subscribe to this new YouTube channel. So thank you very much, Mr. Shakespeare. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, and we'll be recording a lot more in the week. Thank you very much.